So I'm just thinking now about how I'm amazed by manufacturing, general manufacturing of all the things around us. And it's absolutely everything I can think of. I'm using a walking stick, for example, because I'm partially disabled. And I'm looking at the handle attached to the stick, and I'm looking at the stick itself. I'm looking at the bolts and the screws and the labeling on it. And what it makes me think about is just how impressive our construction methods are. I mean, even making a pen or a table or chair or making a wheel or making a book, for example. There are so many things in the world around us that are constructed somehow and use materials in some way and heating and hammering and bending and shaping, screwing together. All kinds of things are done to produce the world around us. I'm looking at a spray can now, spraying cleaning stuff. And I'm looking at a cup. I'm looking at a pair of headphones now. I'm looking at my mobile phone and my notepad. Whenever you look at any item of equipment, any object at all in the world around us, trying to imagine how those things were built and constructed. And before that, how did anyone even conceive of this object before it existed? Like, how did someone think of a pair of headphones before they were ever constructed? How did that picture get imagined in the head of someone? And then some guy undoubtedly, and then he manufactured these things somehow. Can you imagine how difficult it would be to manufacture a pair of headphones, or a mobile phone, or a computer? And those are all extremely complicated things, and they're fiddly, and they need electricity, and all kinds of strange materials. But forgetting that for a little while, think about even simple things, relatively simple things, like a battery, for example, or a spoon or a fork. Try to imagine how these things were actually constructed. So you're using a knife and fork to eat your meal, but look at that fork for a few seconds and try to imagine the machinery required to create that fork. And you put your shoes on in the morning. Try to imagine all the processes that are required to manufacture that those pair of shoes. It's just phenomenal how we've constructed the processes and the machinery and the know-how to build and create all of this stuff around us. And how a car is manufactured completely defies belief because the sheer number of operations required to make it possible. And even a bicycle or a skateboard and a television or a sofa. I mean, it's every object you look about in the world around you and try to imagine how it was created. How was that book that you're reading manufactured? Think of all the materials you need and the computing power and the computer knowledge, and it's just all phenomenal. Even a pair of skates, things that we regard as simple, like a bicycle pump. The materials had to be brought together and had to be constructed somehow and tested, and it's just all phenomenal how the world around us fits together, and I just can't understand it.